Overheat. No! Game time for... Oh! Konnichiwa, Internet, and welcome to this episode of Old Men. Today we're moving on up. We're moving on up to Super Nintendo. This is going to be Super CastleVania IV. So this was the game that finally convinced me to buy a Super Nintendo. Back in the day, I was pretty much firmly in the Genesis camp at the point the Super Nintendo came out. I was always a Nintendo fan, but I felt like Nintendo took too long to get the Super Nintendo out. Genesis had been around for too long, had too good of a library of games. It didn't make sense to get a Super Nintendo, you know. It was like the Genesis is cheaper, it's got all these great games. Why would I ever spend my time on Super Nintendo? Now, there were these places back in the day where you could rent movies. I know that sounds kind of crazy, like why would you want to do that? But for those of you who aren't familiar, these old places would rent basically VHS tapes, and there was a few of them. It was kind of a new idea at the time, these mom and pop stores that would rent Nintendo, or they would rent video game systems. So when Super Nintendo came out, I was definitely curious, so I rented it. And I remember, you know, it came damn close to getting me with just Final Fight, because it was so much like the arcade, but it wasn't two players, and it didn't have all three characters, and that kind of killed it. I didn't care about Super Mario World at the time, because I was one of those kids who had been suckered into the whole, yeah, Sonic is for awesome dudes like me, Mario is for babies! Boy, how wrong was I when I finally played it. You know, I remember Super R-Type was really good, I really liked that game too, but it wasn't quite enough. But when I got this game, and I heard this music, and I saw these graphics, I was blown away. And at this point, this is when I said, okay, I have to get me a Super Nintendo. There's just no question in my mind that Super Nintendo is what I must have. And so I started saving my pennies and nickels and dimes, and then I kind of got lucky. Somebody broke into our house and stole my Genesis and all my games. And because of that, my dad felt sorry for me, since I was such a video game kid without a video game system, that he kind of helped me along with that, and I was able to get a Super Nintendo at the next Christmas. But yeah, I mean, this is the game that you brought your friends over to show them, like, oh yeah, you think Genesis is cool? Look at this. And they would just be mind blown by how amazing this game was. Only the truly hardcore who absolutely refused, you know, logic would be the ones that didn't like this game, or would, you know, try to find fault with it. So good. I love this game. It still stands as probably one of my, if not my favorite Super Nintendo game. There are so many good ones, though. It's kind of hard to say that, but honestly, I really feel that way. This is one of my top favorites. Go away. So yeah, major difference here. Your whip can hit more than one thing, which is different. You have control over your character when he's in the air. You didn't have that before. You can whip in all 8 directions. You can't whip diagonally down unless you jump, but still, you can do it. Using your sub-weapon is no longer up and your whip button. It is now its own independent button. And the best part is if you hold the button down, you can wiggle the control pad and do little, woo, oh, the wind is so strong. Or you can rotate and get the little, you know, the whip thing. It's, that may seem ridiculous, and it kind of is, but that's what's so great about it. Oh, God. Even better. You can moonwalk. Aw, yeah, baby, what's up? Now, the whip actually doing this serves a purpose. It works really well against projectile characters. In fact, it's the way to beat Dracula a lot easier. If you whip diagonally up and hold it, that's a straight wall. That blocks any incoming projectile. Oh yeah, see this little bat-winged hoop? Little Indiana Jones whip action. No, you don't. Woo! What is that? Give me it. Yeah, that was neat, wasn't it? I just got my life back. Ooh. So easy. In the old games, that was 6 hits for those guys. And let's do a little moonwalk, little moonwalk, little moonwalk. Aw, yeah. Yeah, you can crawl. I forgot about that, too. When you're ducking, you can crawl. Ugh. Gotta move slow. Alright. Yeah, you know, I remember, I love this game so much. one of my aunts once, her kids wanted to know what I was doing, and they kind of knew about video games, but they didn't know what Super Nintendo was. They just had regular Nintendo. And so to show them, I recorded myself playing this game and beating it. And I remember, you know, since it was on tape, I was able to record it and see everything I did. I got through that game without dying once. I got hit one time, and I beat it in, I think it was 42 minutes. And I have no idea where that tape is now. Alright, so yeah, we're just cruising on through. We're in Dracula's stables, I assume. It's a lot of hay back there for undead horses. Hay is for undead horses, apparently. Oh, there's one of their heads. Really? So if your head's not attached to a body, do you really need to eat the hay? Oh god. No, get off. See, it's not exactly the most powerful attack. As you saw, it took about 4 or 5 hits like that to kill something that normally only took 1 hit. So don't try to use it as some sort of catch-all for killing stuff. Yeah, this game is the shite. Oh yeah, a little bit of moonwalk again. Oops, most useless weapon in the game, as always. Okay, so the spots on the floor that only have 1 stick, if you jump on those or get hit and land on them, they flip like that. And when they flip, you will fall through them. So you better be careful. Silly ghosts. Little nest of snakes, I guess is what that is. You can also lose items that way too. If an item lands on one of those things and you flip it, the item will fall through it. Alright. Boss time, let's do it. Where are you? Love the music. Ow! No! Yeah, I killed your horse. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Oh yeah? Man, you're weak sauce. Get out of here. Send Dracula my regards. Gotta love the story in this game too. The story is the opening where a guy walks up to Dracula's castle with a whip, ... and kicks the crap out of everything he sees.
Barf, barf, buff, 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 buff.